Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get rid of that. Let's go on and talk about your weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to go on and talk about tonight, but before we go on and do that, before we want to do that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have around a good 6 people that have tuned in, 4 likes so far, so we're doing good, but we can keep it going. Also, if you have not hit the subscribe button as well, make sure that you go in and do so. We're at 644, trying to get to that main goal of 700, and the halfway mark, we're only 6 subscribers away. That's it. 6 subscribers away from that halfway mark of 650 subscribers. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it pushing. And obviously, we are right now around a good 56 away from that main goal of 700. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, obviously, we will be talking about what's going to happen in terms of our current condition, what's currently going on. We'll talk about the weather for tonight, tomorrow. We also will talk about the weather for our future, short-term future, long-term future. We'll talk about how we'll have a strong cold front potentially be passing, especially as we go into Monday. We'll talk about the back door cold front tonight, and then we'll talk about a little bit of a rapid cool down as we continue to go through from Tuesday. A rebound going into Thursday and Friday. And so, with that out of the way, let's go on and talk about what's currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina. Well, right now, as we look at it, looks like right now we have some nice conditions. Nice conditions right now. Even if we go on and scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., obviously that all cannot be said for the entire U.S., as here in South Carolina, we're nice and dry. But in Illinois, they have some rainfall going on. In Iowa, they have some rainfall. In Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, they have some rainfall. They also do have some rainfall going on in Wisconsin, some snowfall going on in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and even in Montana. We also do have some snowfall going on from Utah over inside of Colorado, and some rainfall and some snowfall in Washington as well. But look at down here inside the South. Right now, we are looking pretty good. Pretty good right now throughout the South. Now, what's going on in terms of our cloud cover, in terms of currently right now? We do, in fact, have some cloud cover going on from the low country into the southern Midlands. But then, for the most part, upstate, looks like that it's mainly clearing in terms of cloud cover up there in the upstate. Now, in terms of the PD and the Grand Strand areas, it looks like that cloud cover is, again, not really being too much of a factor there as we go into tonight and right now. We'll look at the future for it right now. You go in and push this forward. You can see that all of that cloud cover is starting to really try to make it a difference. Oh, goodness. That is not what I meant to do. This might work. I have no idea what in the world is going on, what in the world I just did. I just clicked some sort of button. But I seemed like I went out forward a little bit. Oh, I can click this. Let me see if that will get me back to where I was. Yes, this actually does work. This actually does work. So actually, I'm gonna move this real quick, so I can go ahead and get that back centered up there. And there we go. All right, that works. We go on and continue to push this forward though all the way through tonight, going all the way into tomorrow morning. Look at all that cloud cover starting to build up as we go all the way through into tomorrow morning, and then go into tomorrow afternoon. You can still see mostly cloudy skies going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina. We go into tomorrow evening. Cloud cover is starting to make its way up a little bit. We see some cloud cover mainly up there inside of the upstate, the Midlands, the PD areas. Parts of the low country still seeing some cloud cover. But if we go around 24 hours out into the future, again, just more and more clouds going all the way through. I mean, this will be a cloudy next 48 hours. It seems like after we get past that 48-hour mark, things really start to change. But mostly cloudy conditions throughout the next 48 hours or so. So you're not going to see too much sunshine at all. Current temperatures right now, 61 in Orangeburg as well as 61 in Columbia, 60 in Sumter as well as 60 in Charleston, 62 in Beaufort, and even around a good 57 up there near Murrells Inlet and Georgetown, 56 in Myrtle Beach, 55 in Conway as well as 55 inside of North Myrtle Beach. We also do have around 63 down there in Hilton Head Island, 58 in Florence, and 58 in Bennettsville, 57 in Hartsville, and 56 in Lancaster. You move up here to the upstate, 56 in Rock Hill, as well as 58 in York, 60 inside of Gaffney, and 61 in Spartanburg, 59 in Greenville, 61 in Clemson, 63 in Anderson, and 62 also inside of Greenwood. Now, for your low temperatures for tonight, around 51 in Greenville, 50 in Spartanburg, and even around 48 in Rock Hill, 44 in Sharon and Dillon, and 47 in Florence, 49 in Myrtle Beach, and 50 inside of Georgetown, 52 in Moncks Corner, and 56 in Charleston, 55 in Walterboro, 59 in Hilton Head Island, 55 also in Aiken, and 54 over there near Greenwood and Anderson. High temperatures for tomorrow around 57 in Greenville, 56 in Spartanburg, and 56 also inside of Rock Hill. 60 in Lawrence, 65 in Columbia, 65 also inside of Sumter, 67 in Kingstree, 66 in Georgetown, 69 in Moncks Corner, 68 in Charleston, 71 in Barnwell, Walterboro, 69 in Hilton Head Island. Now, I want you to look at this. Look at this right here. See the high temperatures in the upstate for tomorrow? 57 in Greenville, 56 in Spartanburg, 56 inside of Rock Hill. And look at the current temperatures right now up there. 59, 60. That is due to a backdoor cold front. Backdoor cold front is pretty much a cold front where it moves through throughout the nighttime. And because that happens, we experienced this not too long ago, I think like a week or two ago, where it was cooler during the daytime than it was during the nighttime. Yes, we will be experiencing that again. Where we will have that cold air be there more during the day, and it's going to be warmer during the nighttime. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be warmer right now, and the temperatures really aren't going to increase as you go into tomorrow throughout the upstate. Now, in terms of the low country and the coastal areas, yes, you will definitely increase. You look at this and look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. You definitely will increase. Will it be by much? Maybe if you're in parts of the inland low country, southern Midlands, but overall, it's only going to be around a good 8 to 10 degree increase. Now, in terms of our rainfall for tonight, going into tomorrow and tomorrow night, it looks like 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch is kind of just splotched over throughout the upstate. Nothing really too widespread, but I am seeing 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch going throughout portions of the upstate. And we'll look at the models, see what the models have to say. But the crazy score being next, the reason why we're at a 17, if you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And the reason why we are indeed at a 17 for tonight is really just because of that backdoor cold front being there, that being one, and then also, as well, us just having the possibility, just for, those winds to potentially try and get going a little bit. And so that's what we're looking at in terms of our forecast, in terms of our tiers, in terms of our conditions for tonight. But I think it's a bit too active for calm. So I think mainly that backdoor cold front and also cloudy conditions as well. That also adds to it. But nothing too crazy. SPC outlook for tonight, thunderstorms not expected. Tomorrow, thunderstorms not expected. Monday, thunderstorms not expected. So we are good here. Excessive rainfall, same thing. We're not looking for any sort of flash flooding as we go throughout the next 5 days or so. So we're good here. So let's go ahead and talk about the models. Make sure that you pay attention to the time in the top right corner of your screen, because that is pretty important to go on and look at. If you want to go in and keep track with the time. There we go. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. And you can see right now nothing going on throughout the entire state. We stay nice and dry. We start to see some isolated stray showers start to go on from the upstate into the Midlands a little bit as early as 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. And then it continues all the way from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. as well. You go all the way into the afternoon even, and you're starting to see showers start to go along around 1 p.m. here. and that will continue through. And it'll start to get a little bit more widespread, a little bit more in like the numerous to close to locally widespread levels at that point. Here it is at 3 o'clock p.m., 4 o'clock p.m. right here. And you indeed do have some rainfall going from the low country all the way up into the upstate. Now it will try to make its way over into the PD, the Grand Strand, and it will, but it's not really going to be much, just like a little sprinkle. And if anything, will it even accumulate? That's a good question. We get to 12 o'clock in the morning, not tonight, but 12 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, going into Monday morning here. And we have a cold front moving through. This cold front right here moving its way through the state. And as it continues to move its way down, I mean, you can definitely see where the cold front is. You can definitely see the line right here that's ongoing with it. That will go all the way through. And then we get to around 2 to 3 p.m. and we dry off a lot. We dry off a lot as it goes on and continues to push its way out into the south and east. And just to look at this cold front in another perspective, if we go on and look at it, there goes our little backdoor cold front right here, bringing some cooler air over here. And then there goes the main cold front that we're looking at right here as it moves its way through. I mean, it's moving through the upstate around 6 a.m. on the 29th, moving through the Midlands maybe around 10 a.m. The low country, the PD areas around like noon to 1 p.m. Moving through the Grand Strand, the coastal areas by around 1 to 2 p.m. And then there goes all this cool and dry air. This is not temperatures. If you want to see temperatures, though, I can definitely show you that. Temperatures, like I said, are going to be the same thing. Temperatures are going to be, especially in the upstate, going to be warmer at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning than it will be during like the daytime. And so we'll experience this not only for today, going into tonight and tomorrow, but also we'll see this on Sunday night going into Monday as well. And so we'll see, so the upstate will see this twice, and not only the upstate, but other areas will as well. I mean, 11 a.m. it's going to be 68 over there near Walterboro over there. Cold front passes at 1 p.m. It's going down to like almost 59. To 3 p.m., 59. That's usually the warmest part of the day, around 2, 3 p.m. 59 is what you see there. And so, again, like I said, this will happen twice. Tonight going into tomorrow, and then tomorrow night going into Monday. So what about the long-term future? Well, we're going to look at that right now. We're going to talk about the convection first, then we'll go on and talk about our, look at our cold fronts, our pattern, and stuff like that. And so if you go on and push this forward, you can see that we do in fact have potentially another cold front trying to move its way through. I'll look at that in terms of the dew points in just a second, but that goes near like New Year's Day. We have some activity, some active conditions right here on the 4th here, it seems like. And then you go all the way past through January the 7th here, another cold front trying to move its way through. I'm not seeing anything in terms of like snowfall or anything like that yet, even though I have seen some talk. About some potential snowfall throughout the state as we go into January. But like I said, that's too far out. But some people have been showing, some patterns. Just as you go into like parts of January. And obviously, if you have that pattern with you, you have the convection with you, you have the temperatures down low enough, you'll have it. But like I said, too far out. But if we go throughout January, I mean, like I said, I'm really only looking for something maybe on the 4th, maybe on the 7th, the 8th. And then after that, I'm not seeing anything else. Now, what about our dew points in terms of our dry air? Well, here goes the cold front right there that we were talking about right here on Monday. That's going to move its way through, going from the early morning hours all the way into the afternoon. That's going to bring us some cooler and drier air. You go all the way through to around January the 2nd. You have some more cooler air. Remember the front that I was just talking about as you go into around the 2nd or the 3rd. This looks like here that it might actually be a little bit of a Arctic air blast right here. If I go in and kind of push this back a little bit, you can see all of that air. I mean, again, well, let me go on over into temperature anomalies real quick. We can see that air coming in from the north. You see how it pushes its way down all the way through. That's where all of that cooler air is gonna come from after that main cold front tries to move its way through. And look at how warm it's over here. It's getting in the west. You have this area over here in the east, and then you have this nice warm air over here inside of the west, and the central U.S. as well. You can even see if you go on over here to the JMA one, and you go over into, if I can find the model right now. No, it's not that one, not that one. Might be none of these. I'm going to go to here, and then go over into precipitation. Then I'm going to move on to this one. There we go. Okay. But like I was just talking about, you have that warmer air going on over here. You have that trough moving on over here inside the east. That's what's bringing us this cooler air. While they're having some fun in the sun over there, we're going to be having this activity over here inside the east. And I mean, you can see the pattern for it. You go all the way through the 27th here. You see how we're kind of having some fun in the sun right now. And that cold front will move its way through. We have this low pressure up here, the main center area right here. You have the warm front kind of in front of it, which let me go and get my, oh, I don't have my pencil. Okay. I don't have my pencil, so you're just going to have to follow my cursor. But you have like the warm front right around here, so you have the cold front trying to move its way through, or like my mouse cursor is going to continue to push its way over into the east, what's going to cause us over there. And while that's going on, they're getting some, like I said, nice ridge, nice weather over here inside the west, right here, like New Year's Eve, about. And then you go all the way into around January the 2nd, the 3rd, you start to see kind of like some stable conditions to where it's nothing really too crazy. I mean, you may see like a little like ridge over here inside the west, and then a little divot inside the east. That could potentially cause some problems up there inside of the northeast, because if you look at it, snowfall. And then look at how dry it is over here inside the west. Yes, you have activity. But for the most part, looks like this dry patch right here is what I'm looking at for the most part. But back to just stuff that's more simple to understand. You go on over here back into the temperature anomalies as well. You can see right here, warmer than average air going all the way through January the 6th, going through January the 7th. January the 8th comes along, and then we have some more cool air trying to make its way through, warmer air, kind of just like a battle for at that point as you're going more into the 9th and the 10th. And then after that, I mean, it just seems like I'm just looking at some more warmer air as you go into like the middle part of January. So I hope that all made sense, just like a little lesson right there. Don't you do those so often, but I decided let's go on and just do one tonight since I was in the zone for it already. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, let me go on and zoom this in. Live chat. Mr. Chris was here first. He says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Mr. Oliver says, good evening. Hot day at my house. The air conditioner is back on, and Berkeley Electric is probably doing the work as a result, or doing the worm as a result. The pond is looking pitiful. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I saw a poem. It was on Twitter. It was in my opinion, I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. And some people thought, at least because I reposted it, some other people thought it was pretty hilarious as well. If I can find it, it was like, let me see. There it is. It said, "'Twas the night before Christmas when all throughout the house the air conditioner was running because you live in the South." I don't know why I found that so funny, but I mean, that's a great representation of what's going on right now, about how we're having all this warmer air try to move through. We have the air conditioner running because we live in the South. But I don't know. I just found that funny. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. And then let's see, let's scroll down a little bit. I think Mr. Oliver says, there a snowstorm coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan this week, Joseph? Well, I can go on and look at that for you. Well, I'll look at that in just a second. Let me go on and finish up with the chat real quick. Mr. Chris says, truly enjoyed today. Was 80 degrees here today and nice. Well, that's great to hear. And then let's continue our way down. My Aunt Lewis says, "Good evening, everyone. I pray that you all, that all is well. All is well. Thank you so much for that. Today in Georgetown, it was nice. Thank you so much for that report." Mr. Oliver says, "What happened to the reaction bar? I can't send my hearts and other emojis." Well, I just saw somebody sent something earlier, so I think it's still there. You might just have to refresh your YouTube. Mr. Chris says, "Just check my temperature here in Monk's Corner, and it's sitting at 57 degrees. Sitting at 57 degrees. Right now, if I go in and check out mine says around 59, and I can actually just check it out here as well. The newer weather station up there, top right, says 60. The older one says 59, so they're about a degree off or so. Back over here, though, my Aunt Lewis says today got cooler in the evening. Thank you so much for that weather report for where you are. Mr. Chris says, "Not looking forward to rain coming." Well, rain will be coming through. Not as much, though, but we definitely will have some rain. I think for the most part that most of us, I'm just going to say, I think most of us probably won't see any rainfall for the rest of the year going, and the next time we will see rainfall won't be until 2026. Now, if you're in the upstate, you probably will see some rainfall potentially, going into the Midlands. But if you're near that coastal area, potentially even that low country in that PD, in that Grand Strand area, you might not see any rainfall until 2026. So don't be shocked by that. And so what will that mean for the drought? Well, only time will tell there. He also says, "Was sitting on the porch this afternoon. I felt the temperature falling." Trail says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you." And then Mr. Oliver says, "That cold front is going to throw the birds into confusion. They have been happily splashing in the bird bath and singing beautifully in the warm sunshine." Well, yes, potentially it will. But we'll warm back up. We will warm back up. I mean, that's just South Carolina weather, just going all the way from warm to cold to warm to cold. And then that's all I can see here inside the chat. So, if you want to go on and leave something inside the chat, you can. Let me go on and answer Ms. Tolliver's question. She asked, would there be a snowstorm coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan this week? Well, let me first off, before I go on and do that, make sure I know where Grand Rapids, Michigan is. Let me move up here towards the north central U.S. and move my way out. Okay, here it is right here. I'm going to move this over here, just like I said, so I make sure I know where Grand Rapids is. But I do know what Grand Rapids, Michigan is, but I just need to make sure I know where it is. It's on the western side. Okay. Let me go back over here, go into precipitation, moisture, go into snowfall. I go in and push this forward, and we were talking about, let me see what the time frame was. You said this week, so I'm going to assume you mean, like, next week. It is Saturday, so I'm guessing you mean, like, the next 7 days or so. But if you go on and push this forward right here, seems like, for the most part, that you will have some snowfall definitely coming through. Will it be a snowfall? I mean, it potentially could be. I mean, right here on December the 29th, this same storm system right here that's bringing in that snowfall, the same system that I was just talking about, that snowfall on the backside, you'll see rainfall first. I mean, especially as you go into around tomorrow, but then as you go into the 29th, yeah, snowfall will 100% be right behind it. Will it be enough? In terms of those wind gusts, in terms of those winds, it looks like right now, yeah, it will be breezy. I mean, gusts of up to around 48 to 50 miles per hour. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, there's going to be a winter storm, snowstorm, potentially going on over there. I mean, it's looking likely right now. 100% chance of snow as you go into Monday, 70% Monday night, Tuesday 30%, 60% on Tuesday night, and there will also be, like I said, some blowing snow Sunday night going into Monday. So yeah, definitely a snowstorm ongoing as you go into this week. Now, as if we go even further than that, though, some more snowfall potentially right behind it is definitely possible right here. This right here is on the 31st right here, right before New Year's Day. Some more snowfall behind it, and maybe even some more as you go into New Year's Day. And then after that, it just seems like rainfall, snowfall city, just as you continue your way through all the way throughout the 4th. So yeah, snowstorm, winter storm will definitely be occurring. That will definitely be occurring, and you will have to watch for that. If you know anybody inside that region, or I'm guessing you asked for it. And so hopefully that answered your question. So let's go on now. Let's go on now and talk with the, or not talk with, but discuss the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and talk about their areas because they show support, and even their location is not even about them. But they still go on and they still show their support either way. So we're going to go on and talk about San Antonio first, like we always do. That, again, location, San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then Duncan, Oklahoma, being those 4. So starting off first, like I said, San Antonio, you have you can't see the screen. Let me go on and move it on over there. You have low temperatures tonight at 67, high temperatures tomorrow at 79, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 45. Precipitation for tonight, not expected. Tomorrow, not expected. But tomorrow night, there definitely will be a chance for some shower activity as you go into tomorrow night. So make sure that you're watching out for that. And then in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, looks like right now nothing for you. You're just going to continue to have some fun. Maybe not some fun in the sun, but definitely some fun with no severe weather or anything like that. And now let's go on and talk about our next area, that being Raleigh, North Carolina. You indeed have low temperatures tonight at around 38, high temperatures tomorrow at 53, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. Precipitation not expected for tonight. Tomorrow, nothing there. But tomorrow night, there is a slight chance of rain, though. There is indeed a slight chance of rain. If you go on and look at anything in terms of your severe weather, looks like right now, nothing there. So you're going to continue to just have nothing to really worry about. Excessive rainfall, same thing. Nobody really has a chance for any sort of excessive rainfall or severe weather. For pretty much almost all of these areas, if I'm going on and looking at all of them right now, nobody does. Well, yes, actually somebody does. I'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But in terms of stuff for your future as well, for Raleigh, I mean, it just looks like for the most part that you will try to warm up on Monday, but it will cool right back down. There will be a warm front that passes that will warm everybody up, even inside of South Carolina as well. But it will cool right back down again. Then next up, we have Philadelphia, Pennsylvania being halfway there now, with those low temperatures tonight being at 25, high temperatures tomorrow at 40, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 36. Yes, 36. Precipitation tonight, that should be none. And then tomorrow there actually is a chance of rainfall. Yeah, must I go in and get that right there? Chance of rainfall tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. There you go. In terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, nothing for you. So you're going to continue to just kind of be in that active area. Going to continue to try and be inside that active area. And potentially, if you go in and look at the future, it will be breezy Monday night going into Tuesday as well. I mean, gusts up to around 35, 40-ish miles per hour as you go into Monday night and Tuesday. And so that's what's going on there. And then finally, the final area, there's no severe weather, excessive rainfall for Philadelphia, with the final location being Duncan, Oklahoma. You indeed do have those high temperatures today at 60, or low temperatures tonight at 63, high temperatures tomorrow at 73, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 27. Precipitation not expected, but it will be windy. You have a wind advisory for tomorrow. Gusts as high as 41 miles per hour, and then tomorrow night, gusts as high as 38. And on Monday, gusts will still be as high as 22. Precipitation not really expected until Wednesday. Slight chance of rainfall on Wednesday. But one thing you also have to watch out for is there is a chance for some severe weather. That is for Duncan. I mean, right now it seems like on tomorrow, with those gusts getting all the way up to around 40 miles per hour, that will bring a fire weather risk. And so you have to watch out. If you don't have to burn anything tomorrow, please don't. Same thing on Monday and Tuesday. So elevated fire risk for tomorrow, elevated fire risk for Monday, and another one for Tuesday. So just overall, some fire weather concerns. Definitely something you have to keep in mind because fire weather is still important weather. And so that's pretty much all I have to say there for those 4 areas. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Well, it seems like a winter storm system will rapidly intensify over the Midwest on Sunday and track through the Great Lakes on Monday. Periods of heavy snow are anticipated across the upper Great Lakes late Sunday and continuing into Monday. At least a tenth of an inch of ice accumulation is expected from a wintry mix across much of the interior northeastern U.S. starting Sunday afternoon. And so we're seeing a lot of things there. We may even see a little blizzard action going on from the UP of Michigan inside of Minnesota. I mean, it's just going to be a wintry mess all the way from the Dakotas all the way over into Maine, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Michigan, and just a lot. And not only that, but fog will also be added on top of it from Minnesota to Iowa to Missouri to western Illinois to southern Georgia to the panhandle of Florida and even in southeastern Alabama and Louisiana. Wind will be going on. I already talked about it for Oklahoma, but that will cause fire concerns in Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. And just a lot of things are going on right now throughout the U.S. in terms of weather news watch. We definitely are not calm right now throughout the entire U.S. But that's all pretty much I have to say there. Let's see, do I have anything else inside of the chat? Mr. Chris says, everyone please remember to stay safe and warm and hydrated. Going to be getting cold again. It will be. We'll be getting back cold, especially as you go into Monday. And make sure that you're not only paying attention for those temperatures, but also for those wind chills as well. Make sure you're watching out for those wind chills. I mean, we could see wind chills on Tuesday morning, potentially getting up to around 20 degrees, potentially, up there in the very far upstate. So make sure that you're watching out for that. I mean, low temperatures Monday night going into like the upper 20s for a lot of us, and then in the upstate, and then those wind chill values will bring it down. So wind chills will also be something that we're gonna have to watch out for. And I think that is all that I see here. In terms of the top fans of the night tonight, right now, I do believe pretty interesting. I don't know, maybe this needs to be refreshed. I don't know. But I think Miss Tolliver at number 1, My Outlaw is at number 2, and then Mr. Chris is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see. And you have to be here early. You also have to be a subscriber to the channel, and you have to be active inside the chat. And so that's all that I see here. I will be back tomorrow morning for your Sunday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're there. And then also tomorrow evening, our last week, not last full week, this was our last full week, but our last kind of like half week of 2025 going into 2026. Forecast for December the 28th going into January the 3rd. Our January forecast will be coming up next week as well. And then for the most part, I think that is about all. Make sure, like I said, you stay tuned. Huge upgrades are coming here to the channel soon. A lot of fun stuff. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to leak what's going on. But a lot of stuff is about to happen. So make sure that you tune in for that. And stay subscribed to that. And speaking of subscribers, 644, trying to get to 700. 6 subscribers away from the halfway marker. And then 56 away from the main goal of 700. That's all. So again, I will be back tomorrow. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. And hit those 2 buttons if you're new.